What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Graffiti Media Podcast, where we teach business owners just like you how to grow your business using YouTube and social media. Just really these strategies that we teach in these podcasts will help you increase the revenue to your business that comes from social media. I said that kind of weird, but you get the idea. You're going to increase your business with social media by listening to this stuff. Today, I'm talking about, one of the things that I hear a lot from business owners specifically is I really want to be on social media, but I don't want my face on social media. I don't want to be blasted all over the internet. There's a couple of things that I have to say about that. Like, number one, welcome to 2023. If you didn't want, if you were concerned about your privacy, then you should have petitioned somebody upstairs to put you in a different generation. You are here for a reason, and part of that reason is to learn how to interact with people in this generation and learn how to get by in life with your privacy being spilled out over the internet for everybody to see and know where you live. I'm sure there are still strategies to keep yourself off the grid, but those are becoming fewer and further between. I heard a podcast once that was by somebody who was in the CIA, and he was talking about how we had the ability to read what's written on your coffee mug from satellites orbiting the world at hundreds of miles above. And we had that ability in the 1990s. Think about what kind of technology we have now. So if you think you are off the grid, you generally aren't. All right, so that took a weird turn down a conspiratorial path that I didn't intend to go. But the point that I'm trying to make is that you just got to be comfortable with having your face. I mean, like, there are strategies I'm going to go over them here in just a second on how you can create content for your company that's faceless. But if you want to be genuinely successful, you want to be really successful on social media, your face has got to be a part of the equation, because that's your personal brand. That's your unique value proposition. There might be a doppelganger out there somewhere who looks similar to you, but they're not going to look exactly the same. You are special. And so share that smiling face with the world to see and build a personal brand around it. All right, you guys. So let's talk about how to grow a faceless YouTube channel for your brand. One of the other reasons, before I get into that, one of the other reasons to say let your face be your personal brand is because people trust. They want to be able to look into your eyes, and the trust factor goes up when you have social content. They could form a relationship with you over the course of months or years watching your content. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I love Scott. I love Graffiti. I love everything they're putting out there. I want to work with them because I feel like I know them. That's the benefit of having your face on social. But if you truly want to go faceless, then there's a couple things that you need to remember. Like, you have to be able to captivate an audience very rapidly, and you have to be able to deliver value. Now, you're going to have a little bit of an uphill battle because your people can't associate what you're saying with somebody, and so there's going to be a little bit of a distrust that you're going to have to overcome. But one of the strategies that I was just talking about last week with somebody was turning them into the Sia, right? Remember Sia, the performer, the singer, where you didn't see her face, I think, for a long, long time. She tried to stay out of the public eye because she didn't want that fame. The Gorillaz, another good example. The Gorillaz, like, they did cartoon music videos, but their music was great. So you need to have some type of a brand, or maybe it's like wearing a costume where it's all they see is your mouth, right? Then your face isn't there. You're not going to get stopped in the airport by people who are crying and so glad to see you. Like, that's happened before. It's a little bit uncomfortable. It was weird. I get it. But you're still building a personal brand, and maybe that personal brand is related to, like, this mascot or this persona that you put on. So that's one way to do it. Now, if you're uncomfortable with that, because it's, hey, I just freeze up every time I get in front of a camera, and so whether it's I've got a Tigger mask on or I'm wearing a low baseball cap or whatever so people can't see my face, that doesn't, or I'm just showing my face, like, it doesn't really matter either way because you freeze up in front of the camera. Like, you truly want to just read a script, throw it on B-roll, and have that work for you. Then you need to get ultra creative with the way that you tell stories, the way that you share information. And so one thing that I would actually recommend doing if you're going to do that as a business owner is to prepare PowerPoint slides so that way they can still hear your voice, but now there's a slide deck that you're working through, and there still can be trust built with you fumbling and bumbling along, right? Like one of the greatest things that you can do on a YouTube channel that's ultra authentic is allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to stutter, stammer, and have a difficult time saying things. Or if you say something the wrong way, make fun of yourself. It's endearing. People like that. People trust that. People trust when you stutter and then listen to me. Like I stutter and stammer all the time when I'm talking on video. It's not perfectly polished, especially in these podcasts. So you guys are getting the real authentic flow out of my mouth, out of my mind. And you can only pretend for so long. It will only last so long if you pretend, and then the true authentic self has to come out. One of the things that came out in the news last week I was having a good laugh about was Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. They got fired from their own podcast. One of the things that I was laughing about was how Meghan Markle, she didn't even interview guests on her podcast. She had staff interviewing guests, and then she would voice herself in over the staff. So Meghan Markle would read these lines, and then whoever the guest was would respond to those lines, but it was actually the original audio was somebody else reading the lines, Meghan Markle's lines entirely. And I think a lot of the reason that she did that was because she didn't want to appear like real and authentic. I don't know, but it was stupid. It was a stupid strategy nonetheless, and they lost a whole lot of money with that. My point is like being ultra polished is not always the best thing for you. Look at somebody like Elon Musk, right? He owns it. He screws up and he owns it. Remember, he got himself voted out of the CEO position of Twitter because he put out a poll and it's saying, hey, would you like me to be the CEO? And it was like 53% of people said, no, I'll bring in somebody else. And he owns it. And that's what makes him trustworthy. That's why people like Elon. That's why people like people like that. So if you're a business owner and you're wanting to be successful with a faceless type of a channel, please, please, please listen to what I'm saying. Still keep some type of authenticity in your content. So if you're going to prepare slides and voice everything over and just be your true authentic self, just in audio. Okay. The third option that I'd say you could do, but I wouldn't recommend, is creating well-written and very scripted video essays on topics that are part of your business. You have to be really, really good in order to pull this off. But if you look at people like Sunny V2, that's a YouTube channel. Sunny V2, incredible video essays. Patty Galloway, incredible video essays. But they don't show their face. And I think it's probably because they were afraid of people not trusting them or not liking what they look like, or they're just afraid of the camera. Or maybe it's maybe it's nothing like that. Maybe they just wanted to create video essays because they like that artistic sense and it was a new style. Totally fine. If you're going to do that for yourself though, make sure that you are hiring somebody who knows what they're doing, knows how to write content that has a good flow that people will stay engaged with, and also make sure that you have an incredible editing team that can put together very, very good edits on video essay type content that again has that good flow and keeps audience attention retained. If you have any more questions on that, leave them in the comments. I can do a follow-up on this as well. Really, guys, this podcast is for you. So if you have any questions, I need to hear your feedback. Leave it in the comments and we'll go from there. So wherever you're listening from, if this is on YouTube Music, or if you're watching this on a YouTube channel, or if you're on a jog right now, you downloaded this episode, or you're listening to it faceless, rock and roll. I love it. Stay healthy, you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.